My name is Shelley Jansky. I'm a research geneticist with the USDA ARS and associate professor in the horticulture department at UW-Madison. Well, I think there are many directions we can go with UAVs. I think, first of all, there's much we need to learn about how to use them efficiently and effectively, but I think the main use right now is with a visible light camera. We're interested in taking pictures of our plots across the season and looking at how canopy develops and looking to see whether we can distinguish differences among plants within populations or among plots that are treated different ways, for example, that have disease or some type of nutrient stress or perhaps water stress or heat stress. So we're interested in looking at what these stresses do to canopy development across the season. There are some other directions that we think are kind of interesting. One of them is we'd really like to try to fly petri dishes through the fields and use that as a method of sampling spores for early blight for sure and potentially for late blight. And both from a research perspective, we're interested in looking to see whether we can distinguish different levels of spores over plots that are resistant versus susceptible or treated versus untreated, but this could potentially be used as a scouting method as well. I think this will just become part of our regular research tools. So in the past we've always done our scoring on the ground, walking through the fields. For several years we'll keep doing that. I don't know if we'll get to a point eventually where we'll be able to say that we can fly our UAV, take photos, and use that instead of walking on the ground, doing our scoring from the ground. But I think that we'll get to a point where the images that we collect from the UAVs will be just a regular part of our research project, a regular part of our collection of information. We will expect that when our season begins, we're going to be taking weekly images from every one of our fields, and we'll be able to use those images in a number of ways. I think it's especially intriguing to think about the idea that we'll have a permanent collection of information about our fields, and we can go back and look at those images from years past, and we may be able to move in some directions that we couldn't have moved before because we have image data or images that we can relate to something new. If we have weather data or we start to imagine that there are some other factors or variables that are influencing the growth of the plants, we can go back and look at the images and relate that to other information, soil information, weather information, maybe even rotation information to relate the performance of the plants to what we're seeing in the images.